Judy Mzungu Hakula is in the building.
Hey, you got it today.
I did. I've been rehearsing for what, a year?
I like
Do
that.
you remember the first day? I was just like, what?
You've always struggled with it. In fact,
I edited it out. I'm just going with Judy Mzungu.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
Everyone else does it.
But we're here now.
Yeah.
Aren't we grateful?
I tell you.
Did I tell you you make me happy?
For some reason, I know. I actually look forward to coming and hanging out with you.
Oh my God,
Yes.
me too. Karibu sana.
Asante na
I would
shukuru.
see you reacting to the quotes ya leo.
Yes.
And you were just like, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have something to add on to that? You know how we, you go through life and sometimes it's not like you're in different places. It's just because you've experienced one thing before. So now you are experiencing something totally different.
And comparing. Comparing.
Yes.
It's a thing about not living in the moment. Because
Yeah.
every moment, even the dark moment, will offer you a lesson if you just sit and accept it.
Okay.
And even that high moment will offer you a lesson and prepare you for the next either higher moment or the next probably down moment, because life is about seasons.
You need to be aware when you're in the moment.
Yes.
That way you will appreciate what comes next.
That's
and you'll be aware. And you won't forget the lessons that you picked from when you felt like nothing is happening for you.
Yeah, that's true.
This feels like a whole other conversation.
I tell you.
And that is not why she's here today. This is not why you're here today.
No,
We're here to
no.
talk about rejection. And it's a sensitive conversation because
Yes.
nobody wants rejection.
Yes.
There's if you've ever tried acting or going for auditions for whatever job or gig,
Yes.
and you've been told we'll call you back. We'll call you back. You're shortlisted and then you never get it.
Yes.
So somebody was just making a joke saying, like, you know what? I think actors or people who go for auditions a lot need therapy for the amount of rejection that we get when you go for all this many, and you have to go for them.
You have to go for them.
And that
But
is
the
just
thing
one
about
form
it
of
is, maybe
rejection.
for you guys, it's actually real.
Yes.
For the rest of us, we are going through rejection without understanding that you're going through rejection.
Yes.
You get it? There's you're looking at a guy and you're thinking there's hope, and then no, he's looking at someone else and not you.
Oh God. I know.
There's you thinking that, and sometimes not fitting in even within your own family.
That is true. Or maybe even feeling like I wasn't meant to be. I probably that child that was born
Yeah.
unplanned for.
Yes.
And maybe my parents separated and then now they're back together, but I'm not sure where my place is in this space.
That's it. That's true. So all of us go through rejection, of a different kind. We probably all need therapy. We all probably need to.
That is so true. Oh my God.
We all probably need to. But it's important for us to know how to navigate this whole rejection thing, so that we understand that it's not the end of the road.
Okay.
And maybe we need to first start by defining exactly what is rejection.
Yes. Please.
Rejection, because all of us were born with an innate sense of wanting to belong, an innate sense of desiring acceptance, an innate sense of wanting to connect with another.
Okay.
When that is denied of us, either we don't find acceptance, we don't find belonging, or the doors are not open for us, that for us is rejection. So you realize it happens, by the way, now in coaching, it's interesting. It happens when you start stressing people's problems. It happens even from the days people used to play, and then you're not included in a game. Can you imagine people carry it?
Oh my God, that is so true. It felt really bad though. You know, mnacheza kati.
Yeah.
And then mnaambiwa chagueni teams.
Yes.
And nobody wants you.
Yeah, because hujui kuruka.
No.
I'm getting it.
Hautakimbia fast kama wengine.
Yes. So watch our gigs. Imagine nachoanza rejection hapo kwa kati.
That is so true. Yeah, I see it. And you carry it. Or it starts with a simple thing like maybe your brother or your sister is performing better at school than you are. Then the comparison.
The comparison comes from parents, sometimes not knowing.
Yeah. Naona kama brother yako.
Yeah. Kwa nini ukuli kama nani? Why aren't you tidy like the other person? Not understanding that these people have different temperaments. Why are you not as aggressive?
All these are forms of rejection.
All these are forms of rejection. And sometimes even our naming systems, Mikali, have you noticed it? Where your mother will tend to like the kids that were named from her family side, and your father will tend to like the children from from his family side. That right there is rejection.
Then it's everywhere.
It's
Judy.
everywhere. I'm telling you, forget gigs. We start way back.
That's true.
Yeah.
Is there a way, or is there something called self-rejection where you isolate yourself, or does it also stem from you are isolated? And
It stems from there.
It stems from
It
there.
stems from there,
Then
actually.
you own it.
It stems from there. So what happens is that you grow without a sense of self-worth, you grow without a sense of self-esteem, and you grow without self-confidence.
Okay.
So because of that, you develop a mechanism
To cope.
to shield yourself from further rejection. And the way many people do that is they erect walls around them. So you cannot exactly be able to get through to them. And many times they're not able to reach their pinnacle as far as their gifts and abilities are concerned.
Okay.
Because they have never learned to see themselves correctly. Remember, they were defined by what everyone else had said in the past. So because they were defined by whatever everyone else said in the past, they have a problem seeing themselves correctly. So they build a cocoon around themselves and never are able to achieve everything that they were meant to achieve in this life.
And then you own it and say, this is me.
This is
not
me.
good enough.
Yes.
I don't fit in.
Yes.
I'm always a loner.
Exactly. But something deep inside of you tells
Yes.
you that there's something more. I just can't reach it. The only problem is now you are not, in your cocoon, you're not even able to see yourself clearly.
No. Oh my goodness.
And that's why we need to have conversations such as this, Mwikali,
Yeah.
so that then we're able to tell people, guys, it's time for you to go back.
Yeah.
Look, find out what could have happened to you way back so that you can correct it. I keep saying it's never too late.
No. You've shared your story here before.
Yes.
So it's never too late.
Oh, I haven't told you another part of the story,
no
Mwikali.
way. Is there?
Judy, we need to write books.
You haven't? Judy, you need to write a book.
I probably need to, yes.
You know, we're going to take a very short commercial break, but when we
Yes.
come back, we're coming back to this conversation.
Yes.
Utatufungulia roho kadogo.
Kadogo
tu. Ndio
tu.
next time tuko na part ingine.
Yes.
But if you're tuned in, please let us know if you've faced any form of rejection in relationships, and did you feel like they did not treat you well? Did you not understand what was happening? If you're going through that and do not know how to navigate around it, if you are in a family setup and also feeling like, oh, I don't think my mom or my dad, they make me feel like I belong. What could be the reason? How do I get out of this state? How do I have these proper conversations with my family, with my partners, with myself? 111-444-111. Send in your questions because Judy is going to be here to answer all of them. Switch TV KE on Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Full Circle with Mwikali. Judy Mzungu is in the building. We're talking about rejection, and we've seen the different forms of rejection, and probably most of the times where it stems from. Like we can be experiencing rejection right now, but then we can't ignore the rejection that happens to us when we're children, and some of it we carry along, and sometimes that leads to us isolating ourselves or even rejecting ourselves, lack of self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, and all of that. But Judy, just before the break, you were about to spill some beans.
Unapenda udaku.
Mini journalist. Okay, please.
Okay. So I grew up in a family of four.
Okay.
4 girls. So I was number 4.
Okay.
Still am number 4.
Yes.
So there were 3 girls before me. So number 1, my mom was forced into marriage.
Okay.
Then number 2 is that this was a polygamous setting and there are other women before her. So she had 3 girls before. Guess what she was expecting? Number 4, at least become a boy.
Yeah.
So that then she validates her position.
Okay.
Number 4 turns out to be
Judy.
My mom rejected me at birth. Mwikali vile unaniona hapa sina vaccination ya mtu.
What do you mean vaccine? The ones for the clinic. When you're a child.
BCG.
Even the one that we all have as car.
No.
See, we're supposed to die if you don't get it. Amma, what are those stories you're told?
Are you seeing me? I'm a walking miracle.
Oh no.
That's true.
Okay.
So when COVID came and they were saying anyone without BCG, I was fearful.
Did you get it?
No, you see, it's kind of dangerous for me to get it now.
Now?
Yes.
Okay.
But the thing about it is, I survived by the grace of God. That's why I'm still here.
Yes.
But the thing about it is that registered in my head as rejection. So growing up as a child, I had very bad anger.
Okay.
I didn't cry mommy like everyone child cries. I cried daddy. And that's how I grew. So so as I grew up throughout my life, I knew that I had a lot of anger. I knew that I seemed to face rejection wherever I went. And I couldn't quite place a finger on it. Not that I'm a bad person or anything. And I'm narrating my story to help someone else.
Okay.
Because sometimes when you carry rejection from wherever you came from, and you know it's a wound that you haven't dealt with.
Yes.
So unless you take time to heal, what then happens is that you will keep on facing rejection after rejection after rejection. Because remember, I keep coming here and I keep talking about body, soul, and spirit.
Yes.
When your emotion is wounded because of whatever happened to you at some point in your life, so your emotion is part of your soul.
Okay.
So what happens is your soul and your spirit work very closely together. So because your emotion is wounded, now, and your soul and your spirit are working closely together, that becomes your spiritual atmosphere.
Ooh.
And that's how you tend to keep on attracting the same thing over and over again.
That's all you can see. That's all you can feel.
That's all your atmosphere is sending. That's what your spirit is sending. Your spirit with a small s.
Yes.
That's what your spirit is sending. That's why you keep on, when you meet some people, they're like, everywhere I go, what wananichukia sijui nini? Because no one tells them, you have to start deal with it from the root.
Most of the times we don't look at it that way.
Yes.
We look at it, for me, the people who do not like me.
Yes.
You never think it's my spirit that is attracting this. It's exuding. Don't
and let
like
me tell you, I tell you this because I'm a kingdom person, and I know even in churches, Mikali, I prayed, spirit of rejection. I realized this spirit of rejection is not for casting out.
No.
Spirit of rejection is for healing the emotional wound.
That is what we don't understand.
We don't get it.
Yeah.
And I say it because I've been there. That was my life. I grew up in a home I wasn't fitting in. I went to work wherever. You understand? I wasn't that kind of person, in as much as, yes, I was a salesperson, excelled in sales and all, but I wasn't the salesperson that you will find probably hanging out, taking tea with people. I wasn't that person. Granted, that has also become kind of my pattern, so to speak. Pattern in the sense that now I understand I don't necessarily fit in because I'm a barrier breaker. But I also understand that as much as I now live, it's easy for me. That's why I connect with you a lot easier now. Because I've taken the healing journey. My spirit is different. These days, Mikali, I don't take for granted when you receive me well. Because I know the difference.
The quote.
Yes. Oh, yes.
The quote today. The quote today.
Yes.
Because you know the difference.
I know the difference. I know what it is to find rejection. So when I find acceptance, I know not to take it for granted. Oh, and I know that it begins with you dealing with the emotions.
Being aware.
Being aware and dealing with them and healing.
Yeah.
That's when now because you have healed, it's easy for you, your mindset. Remember, the soul is your intellect, your emotion, and your will. So once your emotions then begin to heal, what then happens, your mind, your intellect begins to speak differently to you about yourself.
Okay.
Now, you understand the self-rejection we're talking about, Yes. And that's why you have to go through the healing journey, So that now when you heal, your intellect now begins to register differently about you, about life, and you begin to change your expectation.
Okay.
And then your spiritual atmosphere changes. So everything now around you begins to change. But because it has, I don't know whether I've said it as simply as possible for anyone to be able to capture it.
Let me see if I've gotten it.
Yes.
See how we say you attract your tribe?
Yes.
So that means if I am not feeling all these things about me and I'm feeling, you know what, I'm happy today, I'm ready, I am open to welcome good things. If I'm seeing myself in that way, that I'll be able to give good because I am willing to receive good, then is it the same mechanism where...
It's kind of the same thing. But
Okay.
you see, the only twist that I find sometimes, because there's a lot of teaching out there about affirmation.
Yeah.
So you're standing before a mirror and telling yourself things. But guess what? Your emotions don't align with those things that you're trying to say.
That means I can't do this if I haven't done
Exactly.
the work
Yes.
inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to heal on the inside. So when
Affirm from Huko.
you heal from the inside. So
Yes.
once you heal from the inside, even your mind begins to see differently. You don't have any need for a mirror to tell yourself things anymore.
Ah, okay.
You get?
Okay.
Because you know it, you own it.
That's a journey, Judy.
But it doesn't have to be so long. That's why we are here.
I'm just
We can-
like, the mirror sounds like an easy way out, but now there's
You see,
know.
the mirror, the problem with that mirror thing is that you speak to the mirror, but then it's not registering.
Ukondani.
So for the period that you're standing in front of the mirror, you kind of believe. What happens when you're away from the mirror, Mwikali? So it's easier. It's actually more long-lasting. It's actually, we are looking for a long-lasting solution. In fact, not long-lasting, a lifetime solution to this problem. Otherwise, people will be talking to mirrors, affirming themselves, doing journals. You have to take the journey and heal, change your spiritual atmosphere, and then everything else about your life will begin to fall into place.
Heal from the past.
Heal.
Pick the lessons. Know where you're coming from.
Yes.
Do you feel that there's probably a gender that is more prone to, not handling rejection well, or maybe being rejected more than the other gender?
Incidentally, no. We are all the same. It's just that, like, let's say, for example, even in my coaching classes, I have more women than men. But when the men are bold enough to show up, we have the same issues.
Okay.
You understand? It's just that it's more difficult for a man to lay themselves bare. But I just want to encourage every man out there, just embrace coaching, because you are the people that we are looking to as the heads of our homes. So imagine how much good we will be as a society if the woman is healed, the man is healed, and then what kind of children are we raising for the next generation? It's an important thing for all of us to consider.
I think I saw something on Nana Owiti's page, and she was talking about how if you haven't healed from your past and now you become a mom, some of these things, you sort of like raise kids that sometimes will be injured because you're injured. So if you're healed and you're safe, then you'll be able to raise kids who are wholesome and they will not be suffering from what it is that is ailing you. So it will not affect them. So we need healing for even our future generation.
That's true. Because you see, how people react to the wounds is that because you're carrying a wound, you can either, one, build a wall to say, I'm not letting anyone in, so that, and then the other way is that people, you reenact the same thing that you saw.
Niliwachwa, wacha mtu next akuje.
Yes, something like that. Yes, because what you're trying to do is a defense mechanism to say, because this happened to me, I'll not allow it. So you take the position of the abuser without knowing.
Whoa, okay.
In fact, for many times after we do our coaching sessions, many parents are like, I need to go back and correct some things. I need to go back and apologize to my children, because whatever I did is something that I learned from my mother, which necessarily didn't work for me.
Yes. But that's the only thing you knew.
But that's the only thing you knew. And it's time for us to be bold enough to tear the script, the old script, and write a new script for our lives, Mwikali.
When you talk about the relationship kind of rejection, where you get into a relationship with someone and then all of a sudden, hawajisikii na wewe tena,
Yes.
ama they're not focused, they want somebody else. And there's that, I don't know if you've seen memes that have been going around when for over time, how a man and a woman react to rejection. So a relationship ends.
Yes.
There's a picture of a man and a woman. The woman is crying the whole time, crying. The man is now partying. Immediately the relationship is over. So party. Maybe 2 months later is when he's grieving the rejection. The woman now is stronger 3 months later because they went through that. Would you say that is a correct depiction of how, as different as we are in terms of gender, is how we react to rejection?
I think, again, it depends on personalities.
Okay.
Yeah. Now there are even men who hurt very deeply, maybe especially introverts.
Okay.
So I don't think it's so much gender as it is temperament.
Personality, yeah.
Yes. Because maybe like a sanguine will be able to find and grieve very fast and again bounce back very fast.
Okay.
But someone who is more introverted, like a melancholic, will probably now sink deeper and stay there for a while longer.
Okay.
You get it, and then again, it also depends on where did they come from, and that's why this whole rejection thing is so important.
Yes.
Because if you are not affirmed as a child, guess what? Further rejection will do to you in future.
Damage you some more.
Yes.
Or confirm whatever it is.
Yes, exactly.
That you have suspected or known or
yes.
seen.
Yes. So that's why it's important for us to take the healing journey from whatever it was in the past. So that, you know what, there's even no guarantee. Even after you heal, Mikali, we live in a fallen world. There'll be still be rejection. There'll still be a tough world out there. But then your inner strength is built so that you're able to bounce back from the setbacks of life. You'll stop blaming yourself. It's not touching on a wound, it's touching on the whole version of you that is able to see situations and circumstances correctly. Which means that, yeah, this happened, it didn't work out the way I expected, it's okay, and you can move on more healthy. But if you're still dealing with rejection and coming out into this world, tough world of dating, tough world of work and competition and the career ladder and all those things, you probably will be so injured along the way, and then it will get to a place where you'll almost hit a plateau, where now what has happened to you, you've gone through the hits of life plus that other hit that you took before. It becomes harder to unravel you and pick you up because we have so much to dig into, from that one of Kitambo to here Juicy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot, yes. So if we can just take a moment, stop, heal from whatever it was that was there in the past, so that we will become more empowered to move forward, first to see clearly the vision for where we are going, to value ourselves first, please see clearly the vision for where we are going, and then be strong enough to navigate moving forward.
How do we pick up the signs? Even like as a parent or as a child, it might be you're noticing this as an adult, or maybe you're a teenager now and it's probably the emotions, or there could be truth in it, where you feel you don't belong. How do you pick up those signs to be like, I think I need probably to work on something, or work on, because most of the times I think it happens when it's, well, we're saying it's never too late, but after you have had so many issues that before we trace back to what really happened, might take a bit of time or work.
Okay. I think one of the things that you need to ask yourself is, what do you feel about yourself? If you don't have confidence, if you don't have a sense of self-esteem, self-worth, that tells you there's a problem right there. Secondly, if you have emotional issues, I had anger issues as an example. Yeah. Thirdly, if you see a pattern, like a pattern of rejection, it points to something.
Okay. So instead of blaming yourself, just ask,
what could have gone wrong somewhere in my life? So that you stop and really interrogate.
Okay. That's powerful. Because we don't take the poses.
We don't.
We move from one thing to the next. If that didn't work, it's fine. Or maybe I'll work out this time. Maybe aliniacha kwa sababu ya hii na hii. So we give ourselves excuses as to why these things are happening, or we just build the wall.
Or you don't. Actually, the truth is most people don't know.
You just move on.
Yeah, because you see, like, even by the time someone is coming to us for coaching, they'll be like, I just know there's something more inside of me, but I don't know what. I need someone to help me figure it out.
Yeah.
So you will take them through the lessons. Okay, fine, do the workbook, send it back to me. When they send the workbook, to be honest with you, half the time the workbook is not full of the answers. It's rosy because even them, they have learned to live a lie.
Yes. Yes.
So that's why you need someone else from the outside, someone with a coaching instinct, someone who's gifted in this area, someone who knows what they are doing, so that they can pick out, I see this, I see this, I see this. It points to something.
Okay.
Half the time, or 3/4 of the time, people don't even know what their problem was. That's the truth.
That is the truth.
So by the time we start coaching someone, by the time they finish, you started with a laugh. By the time they finish, it's not that they are kind of shocked, but again relieved that now finally I can see where my problem is. Because let me tell you, once you're able to see the problem, half of it is gone.
That
You've
is true.
conquered the battle. Yes. Once you're able to give yourself a chance to see, half of the problem is gone. So most times people don't know. You just realize I'm working, but I'm not quite enjoying my job. My relationships don't seem to work. There's just something I don't feel fulfilled about my life. I'm not able to connect with people. That points to something. By the time people are coming to look for a coach, they are going through something like that.
Yeah.
And that's just to encourage everyone that there's hope. There's hope. We can deal. I dealt, Mikali. And I can tell you, life is so much better this way.
We see.
You see, yeah?
We're taking a very short commercial break, but please send in your questions. We're talking about rejection and the different forms there is of the same. If you're going through that, don't know how to navigate, and you probably are asking for somebody else who you've seen and you'd like answers, 111 that is our SMS line. We're going to take a very short commercial break. When we come back, we'll be answering your questions because Judy will still be here with us. Welcome back to Full Circle with Mikali, and Judy is in the building. We are talking about rejection, how to handle it, how to know that it's happening to you, how to navigate through it and to become whole again. But the trick is knowing or finding where it is coming from. And do we have your questions? Judy, are you ready?
I'm here.
Okay, cool. So, good morning, Mikali. I like the discussion. I'm really concerned. Why do all my friends keep sidelining me? Kindly advise. Could it be I am doing something wrong, yet I am always there for them?
There's a great possibility. What happens is sometimes when you carry what we call the spirit of rejection, is you seem to self-sabotage.
Okay.
So there could be just something wrong that you do that tends to put people off, and it has nothing necessarily to do with you. It has something to do with a pattern that you picked up from wherever you came from.
Okay.
And that's why we say you need to take the healing journey, because that's something could also be that spiritual atmosphere that I'm talking about. When you're talking about spiritual atmosphere, it's not so, let me not sound very churchy. It's body, soul, and spirit.
Yes.
Remember that body is your physical being, and then your soul is your intellect, your emotion, and your will. So something may have happened to her emotions way back, and then so that whatever happened affects her intellect. But remember that the soul and the spirit work intimately together. So whatever is happening in your soul is picked up by the spirit. That now becomes the atmosphere that you use. Have you ever met someone and you just like them? It is their spirit, because they are probably healed, something, whatever is going on around them is right. Have you ever met someone that you just don't like? And
For
no one
no
likes
reason.
for no reason. Now that is it.
Okay.
You've seen it?
I've seen it.
Okay.
Hi, Mikali. Looking good. Honestly, I've suffered rejection since I was young. I've felt like a burden to everyone, whether home, with friends, or even family, or even friends. I've not felt a sense of belonging. This has really made me feel bad. What do I do? I'm now in campus and I'm battling it. Please help me. So it's a feeling of not belonging. And he's carried it from home, family, friends.
It's same thing. That person has to just go back to the roots.
Why they're feeling this?
No, not why they're feeling it. What exactly happened?
What happened?
Because you see what happens, especially if it happened within the family setting, we're used to covering things and making it look all good.
Okay.
So he has lived with it, she has lived with it forever, and doesn't seem to get where the root of the problem is. The only way of dealing with that thing is when you deal with the root. They have to go back and face up to whatever happened at that point that made them begin to feel less, made them begin to, there's something about the way they carry themselves based on now what they're feeling in the soul, in the emotion, and the intellect, you understand, which is now being picked, and that's what everyone else is responding to.
Okay. Where are we? Hi, ladies. I'm Masi from Kajiado. Recently, a guy I have dated for 4 years burnt my clothes and documents after I told him the relationship is becoming toxic. I feel hurt, and the last thing I am feeling is suicidal. Sort of like a reverse.
Okay. That whoever that person was, that guy,
The guy.
yeah, he probably just didn't know how to handle the rejection.
The rejection, yes.
And that's why he reacted the way he did towards her.
But how do we react to rejection?
How do you react to rejection?
Yeah.
You have to allow yourself to take the healing journey. You have to go through the emotions.
Okay.
Because definitely you will grieve. You understand? You will mourn. This person they meant something to you. You get it?
Yeah.
So you have to allow yourself to grieve. Then you have to be able to acknowledge and accept every emotion along the way. Then having done that, you must have a support system around you. You know, have people that believe in you, people that you can talk to, people that will allow you to express yourself. And then fourthly, even as you do that, because people have to move on with their lives, there will be moments that you have to be alone and you know, navigate your journey by yourself. You have to remember who you really are. Now you see, it's very difficult to handle rejection if you didn't know yourself in the first place. That's why that conversation about healing and finding self is so, so important. That's what this person who was rejected was suffering from. He didn't have a sense of identity outside of this lady.
Relationship.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're like, I can't live without you. We've
Yes.
had that in songs and you think it's cool.
Yes.
But I don't think it is.
No, it
It's
isn't.
not- it is not cool.
No, it isn't. Do they still sing those
Ah,
songs?
silali. Si cool. Remember that song when you were kids? It's not cool. You need to be able to do all these things.
At least Nameless alisema tu anasinzia.
Anasinzia tu
No.
peke yake, halali kabisa. Yeah.
So anyway, so this lady now, she can't, that guy reacted because he didn't have self-esteem. She cannot definitely go and join him in that suicidal pool.
Don't do this.
She has to be the bigger person and see herself correctly.
Yeah. And they're just certificates. You
They're
can
just
get them.
they're just
You can get
certificates
them.
and they are clothes. Somehow
Yes.
you'll bounce back if you know that you
Yes.
made the right decision. And I can assure you now,
You did.
based on the reaction, you made the right decision. Pick up your pieces. It's
I think
okay.
he just confirmed what this lady was fearing, because the lady says that I was telling the boyfriend that it was a toxic relationship, and the fact that he reacted this way when I was leaving, then it was just a confirmation that really was a toxic relationship. Mwikali, I faced rejection left, right, and center. I was the only left-handed person in our family and in my class. We were born girls and no male child. I was very frail and weak in body. Later, I was forced to repeat for lack of school fees. I have been rejected in job seeking. I am now 40 plus with no job, not because I don't seek, but my age cuts me from jobs. I am a trained social worker and pursuing master's degree in counseling.
Okay. Let me tell you, that person, first and foremost, he went through, went through whatever rejection as a child that they need to overcome. Now that comes because of, sometimes society has norms. Like everyone has to be right-handed, so because you're left-handed, you're different, people can't deal with that. So that's what happened to them. And then plus, of course, the state of their health and having to repeat, something happened to their own psyche about themselves. And I want to encourage that person, that other than the healing journey, who said you can't get a job past 40s?
You can.
You can. You understand? So they're self-sabotaging. Are you seeing? That's what happened when you go through rejection. You begin to self-sabotage because you're thinking less of yourself. So even by the time they're even sending their CV, what is their own emotion saying to them about themselves?
I'm already old.
I'm already
I will not
old.
get it.
Yes.
There are younger people who are better. But you have you're pursuing a master's degree.
Yeah.
In counseling.
Yeah. So the thing about it, the thing about it is, first they need to start with dealing their emotions, and then their mind. What is their mindset saying about them? You get.
Yeah.
So having gone through that train of rejection, they probably now need, after tracing the root, I wouldn't say affirm, heal. Because if you affirm a healed, a wounded soul, it does nothing for you.
Yeah.
So after healing, then now they need to change their mind so that they can change their expectation. Life can give in to you at whatever point in your life. It depends. What is the state of your mind? What is the state of your soul? What is the state of your spirit? Then you can go to the place where you can begin to demand of life, of what it is that it needs to give you.
There's hope.
Yes.
There is hope for you. Looking good, Mwikali. Good morning to you and Judy. Following on the conversation, how do I start healing from the inside when I'm afraid to face my trauma?
That's
Please help
true.
me.
I like that question.
Yeah.
Because what happens, if you think about trauma, it happens this way. It's you're walking, and then now you are taken into a doorway. You see doorways, Milango, into captivity.
Okay.
For you to come out of that captivity and come to freedom, guess what? You have to pass through the same doorway to come out. So what happens is that definitely as you're going through, there's the door, as you're going through, you will face the pain of the abuse that took you there. As you're coming out, you will encounter the pain of the memory. No one can save you from that. And that's why it's difficult for you to do it on your own. You need someone to hold your hand and bring you out. But then even the greater thing is to see the prize that is here. Okay. And that's why we take people as an example through the realignment program, because you have to be able to see the prize that will then push you, that no matter what is happening along the way, come. I'm holding your hand, come, until you get to this side. Okay. You're coming with me, Mikali. I can see you.
Have you seen me? I'm there. I'm like gone.
Gone.
I feel like I was just dropped. But I understand what you mean.
Yes. So there'll be the whatever. But now that's why you need someone, one who has patience, who is gifted to do this, until now you come on to the others on the other side.
So the process for healing for them is that they will have to face the memory of the trauma that they had to go through.
Yes. So, but because sometimes it's easier to be, you can be, all of us or most of us who are operating with rejection and trauma of whatever kind are actually imprisoned, or operating in a prison and functioning.
Okay.
So what does that mean? You're actually not able to reach your highest potential as far as your gifts, abilities, and talents are concerned, until you find the courage to come out. And that's why this is our calling, Mikali, to come out and call people, bring you out until you can come onto the other side, so that you can fly and reach where you need to go. Because without that, if you stay in that captivity, thinking that it's safer, guess what you're doing? You're on autopilot and not being able to give out everything that is within you.
That is so true. Okay. Where are we? Hi, Mwikali, I'm Benta.
Yes.
I'm 18.
Yes.
When it comes to rejection, I have faced it. When I was young, I wasn't bright. My father used to compare me with my siblings. It hurt. Then my mom abandoned us when I was 12. Double pain. It is now that I realized I let people define me, but I'm over it. The only thing is that, Mwikali, I am an introvert because of it. I don't open up easily, and now I don't want to be emotionally attached to a mother figure because of fear that she will again leave.
I get. That person, whoever that person is, Benta. She might have been an introvert even before, but then now this has heightened her walls.
Okay.
So now the reason why now she needs help as far as healing is concerned is so that you can be able to bring down those walls and have fences and function in life. Because walls, whether you like it or not, they hinder you from connections. That's why we have relationships that don't function. Because once you have a wall, Mwikali, you're not able to have a body, soul, and spirit connection, even with a significant other. It's possible to actually have a relationship and you're not connected. I dare say, even a marriage, and you're not connected.
Yeah.
It's possible for us to work in jobs, Mwikali, and not be able to give our whole, our full 110%, because we have built walls, thinking that now, you know what, I'm playing safe just in case. But the sad thing about it is that the world is not able to experience the fullness of who God created you to be.
That is true.
And that's why Benta and many others watching this broadcast and who will watch us later, they need to be able to be bold enough for the sake of the fulfillment of purpose and destiny. This healing journey, overcoming rejection and everything else that we're talking about, is really about a battle for destiny.
You're going deep.
Oh, yeah. So,
Hi, Mwikali. I am Val from Nakuru.
Yes.
I have faced rejection until I got to a point that I couldn't bear looking at myself in the mirror because I thought I was so ugly. It all started when I was young because I was darker than all my siblings, and that made me feel ugly. When I joined high school, I gained a lot of, let me just get that again. Where are we? Oh, goodness. Where? Oh, yes, here we go. When I joined high school, I gained a lot of weight and had a big belly. So I just felt so low because of all the rumors people were spreading about me being pregnant and ugly. After my first breakup, I decided to collect myself and start a journey of self-love.
wow. Wow. At least she's on a good journey.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
She just
But
brought a smile to my face.
Yes, yes. But I pray to God that she has also taken time to
heal.
heal. Because, there's a danger these days, Mikali. This self-love and self-care that is it's on YouTube, and self-affirmation and mirror work. So people are doing the external without the internal. So it's possible for you to hype up your intellect and ujichoche, ujiambie hizo vitu zote poa poa Mwikali. But because you're not healed,
Yeah.
you'll still keep on attracting rejection. Because emotionally you're not healed, you're still unable to connect with other people. What am I saying? Whether we like it or not, it's time as a society we begin to face the inner journey of healing, of taking time to deal with the emotions, sorting out our emotions, sorting out and understanding that it affects everything. It affects the state of our spirituality, that it's not enough, even for those who are born again, saved, where you can be saved medically but emotionally wounded.
Yeah.
And it stands in the way of you being able to achieve your destiny. Yeah. You can be whatever it is. It's not about denomination, really. It's about us being able to fulfill purpose because of the state of our emotions. And you cannot do those shortcuts that you're just seeing and whatever, going through them. Mirror work, all those things. Without
if it's not done from inside,
it won't work.
Then the outside will
won't
not
be
work.
sustainable.
It will crumble at some point.
Yes.
Or probably you'll just go back to...
Yes.
Good morning, Mikali. Say hi to our guest there.
Asante.
I'm Belinda. So I've been married, but my man always communicates of rejection from his family side. And he's so talkative when he's drunk, and he talks irrelevant issues. So when I come across what he said, he starts saying that anachukiangwa na kila mtu, and that's why haonikanangi kama mtu, wanaonanga tu ubaya wake. For the longest time that I've known him, he's been denying his mom, saying that he was disowned and he's not from that family. Please help on how to deal with him.
Sometimes, can I say just to encourage, what's her name?
She's
Val.
Val. Yes, Val.
Yes, just to encourage Val. I actually healed in marriage. I think I've told you that
Yes,
before.
you have said that before.
Yeah, I actually healed in marriage. So that's to encourage sometimes. Sometimes when we think about marriage, we think about, two whole people. I've had a lot of that theory of two whole people coming together, being
Yes.
whole. Sometimes really that's not the truth.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll find the other person is broken. And because you are in this situation, you probably need to help them out. Helping them out is sometimes opening their eyes to see, look, something happened along the way. You need to heal. And then beginning to affirm them. That person who never found a place of belonging wherever they came from doesn't mean that that's the end of their lives. It means that now, even within this marriage, he could write a new script for his life and for his generations. But he can only do that even for his children once he's able to rise up again. And so I just pray that Val will find the grace to be able to speak life into this man until he gets acceptance and is able to see himself differently. That way he'll also be a better father.
Okay. Hi, Mukali. I grew up as a firstborn in a family of 3 girls. My mother always taught me that I am the one to do all the work in the house, and my sisters are now of age, but she doesn't want them to help around. Now I have a baby and it's so overwhelming. I'm even having backache. What do I do? Please help. I don't know how you're going to do that, but yes.
I know. Because see, now that's another thing. The mother came with a stereotype about firstborns and how firstborns are supposed to be, and she just is not able to handle this whole situation correctly. I think what this lady can do is negotiate with her sisters.
Okay.
Because the mother may have made her mistakes, but this generation can come and make a difference. Even I, having gone through rejection, I mean, in my own form of rejection, when I had to heal Michael, Michael, I healed after my mother had died. But what did that journey mean for me? It meant that I had to find a way to bridge with my sisters.
Okay.
You understand? Because this is where we begin to correct. Whatever my mother did, she did, and she's gone. And she did it for lack of knowledge and understanding. So this lady has a chance to negotiate with her sisters, and don't go from the place of complaining. No. Go and just say, you know what, sis, please help me. So it gives you a chance to build a better relationship with your sisters and have a better heritage for the next generation.
Okay. Our time is up.
As always.
So there's a question here, but I think maybe you'll give your numbers or where people can get you.
Yeah.
Hello, Mikali, please ask Judy to describe on the healing journey. She did it earlier, but then you can do it again on your page, and people can get in touch with you directly. Judy, how can they do that?
Okay, you can find me at Safarini with Judy Mzungu Hakula on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and yes, YouTube. And you can also catch me on phone 0784722733 0714722733. It's Safarini with Judy Mzungu Hakula, where we do the journey of life together.
Absolutely. Thank you. Aki nasoma tu ingine moja, but si lazima ujibu.
Yeah.
But umjibu. Caleb, please, I hope you got the number. Is it possible that someone attracts rejection? If yes, how? I think we talked about this very earlier on in the show.
Yes.
And you can get that answer directly from Judy. We're going to take a very short commercial break. We will be right back. Don't go too far.